Hey, how you doing? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to another time here at the book club. Thanks for coming. Thanks for making it. Uh, it's our second read into chapter 8 of our book, which is the final chapter of the book. We're rounding up the book here. We had the first take last week, and I enjoyed myself so much. I hope you enjoyed it also. And we're gonna continue from where we stopped last week and try to get through chapter 8. Then after we're done with chapter 8, we'll do a quick summary of the whole book. Then we'll go on to our next book. I'm thinking our next book is going to be The Confidence Game by Maria Konikova. I've not really read it. I've been trying to get it started, going through the introduction, trying to start chapter 1. But that's all I have in front of me right now, unless I get something better than it. But I kind of love the topic. It's just talking about uh how people con other people in such a way that you're able to then become con free or con proof, you know, that you don't get conned by people. There's that general saying that will say that there's a man that has money and there's one that has experience. When money and experience meet, there's an exchange. The man with the money has the experience, and the man with the experience has the money. You don't want to be such that you lose your wealth, right? So hopefully we're going to talk about it, and it talks about how to insurance proof your life, why we fall for it every time, you know, and that's what this is all about. Hopefully that's gonna be our next book, The Confidence Factor, the conning factor, and hopefully when we know how people con people, you're able to then foolproof yourself from it. Today we're gonna go into our chapter 8, which the title of chapter 8 is how much, you know, who wants it most, because who wants it most is who gets it. It's just like we talk about the dog, right? It's not the size of a dog in the fight that wins the battle. It's the size of a fight in the dog that wins the day, right? So how much fight do you have in you for what you want out of life? For your dreams, how much fight do you have in you to achieve your dream, your goals, right? Your target, your vision, your mission. How much is that fight on the inside of you? Is it a script that is yours, or a script forced down or pushed down on you by someone else? That can be told and that can be seen by the hunger you have or not have concerning it, right? So as I do all the time, I'm going to bring up my slide here, and we're going to take a bite into chapter 8, see how far we can go in it. I don't see us finishing, but if we finish, fine. If we don't, so be it. But let me bring up my slide here and we can have a bite at it. All righty. All right, I guess you can see my slide here on YouTube and on my blogging site, and you'll see it on YouTube, on Facebook later when I upload it, right? But that is what we that is what the quote that runs pretty much through the chapter. It's one by Muhammad Ali. It says champions aren't made in the gyms. Champions are not made in the gym. They are made much more before the gym, right? Champions are not made in the gym. They are made much earlier than the gym itself, right? They are made by something that is deep within them, a desire, a dream, a vision. It's your hunger comes from your vision if it's your own, right? Your hunger comes from your dream, your desire, right? It's what drives your life, as it were. It's something that's associated with your calling, your reason for existence. It's something that's associated with the image of God that you have been put here, to exhibit, to show to the world. It's an expression, of how you were crafted, how you were fashioned by God, right? It's an expression of your talents, your giftings, the uniqueness of your person, right? So if all of this put together, then there's an hunger within, right? And even if it's given to you by someone else, you must have bought into it. To the extent to which you are bought into it is seen in the hunger you exhibit or not exhibit concerning it, right? Oh, I have my dear sister Agnes around today. God bless you, my sister. Thanks for stopping by. Uh, So that's pretty much the quote that runs through the whole chapter. We went last week we talked about we went as far as talking about the motivation. Um we spoke about uh grief, right? Let me just run through what we did last week in a short form. Pretty much we tried to break down the hunger, and talked about motivation is is an emotional foundation, right, for all excellence. Whatever you do, you have to have some level of motivation. And motivation really is not a feeling; it's a decision that you make, right? And a lot of people get don't wake up or don't do what they have promised themselves they will do because they think motivation is a feeling. They are waiting for a special feeling to get up and do that which they believe and know they ought to do to move their lives forward, but that feeling doesn't come because motivation is not a feeling. Motivation is a decision you make because of the price you are wanting to get. You see the price, and because of that price is what motivates you. Scripturally, the Bible talks about Jesus. It says that because of the joy that was before him, he went through the pain of the cross. He did not go through the pain of the cross because he felt like going through the pain of the cross. He went through the pain of the cross because he saw the price he was going to get by going through the cross, right? That's why I say I don't believe in altruism. We all do everything that we do for a reason. Only mad people, crazy people, people that have lost their mind do things for no reason. We all do things because of a reason, right? That reason might not be physical. That's why we get deceived to think that we're doing something for nothing, right? Sometimes and most times that reason is metaphysical. It's not something you can put your hand upon, but there's something, there's a reason. You are probably doing it for the joy, you're doing it for the fulfillment, you are doing it because there is feeding something on the inside of you, it's making you complete. But nobody, no sensible person does something for nothing. We all do something for a reason, whether we know it or not. One of the things that always comes to my mind is David. David went to see his brother, and there was Goliath there. David did not fight Goliath for the sake of fighting Goliath. David did not fight Goliath because of God. Right? David fought Goliath because there was a price to be given for fighting Goliath. He asked, what will be done for the person that fights this man? Yes, he had looked inside of himself and he saw that he had the capability, the ability, the positioning to fight this man. He was in the right alignment with his God, such that his God can fight his battle. But he wasn't going to go just risk his life for the sake of risking his life. He had to ask, though I know I can win this man, I'm in the right alignment to win this battle. Then what is my price if I win this battle? So David fought because of the price, right? He did not just fight Goliath for the sake of fighting Goliath. He fought Goliath because there was a price to it. If there was no price to it, he probably would not have fought Goliath, right? So don't believe anybody that wants you to do something for nothing, right? Only mad people do that, right? There must be a connection, something, whether it's because you believe God will have you do it, then you're doing it out of obedience, but there must be a reason for what you are doing. Otherwise, you're losing your mind, right? So motivation is not a feeling. It is a decision I make to do what I have to do because of the price, the result, the end for which I am doing it, right? That we repeated severally last week. Let me move on from there so that we don't stay too long. We introduced the concept of grief, which pretty much is a double sword there, talking about passion and perseverance. As we talk about hunger, that you must have a passion for that thing you're trying to do, and you must be willing to persevere. You go through the hurdles, the hindrances, that might be limiting you from getting to the end of that which you want to do. Most people fail because they don't have peer. Most people fail because they are defeated by their own fear. They are defeated by the enormosity. They are defeated by the seeming giant. They are defeated by the popular saying of the poor people, the lion in the middle of the road. They don't appear to even try, right? And if you're going to win in this life, you're going to be at your height. You right, you must have a passion for what you do, right? Your reason for doing it, and be ready to persevere. Be willing to go from failure to failure, to failure to failure, without losing your enthusiasm about the thing that you want. If you have determined and made up your mind that this is what I want, then you must be willing to go through the pain, the trouble, the learning, the growing, the development that it takes for you to get that thing that you have said to yourself you want to get. I'll give you my own example. I have a farm, right? This is our fifth year doing the farm, right? It's not been a straight road, right? Recently this year, with the first rain, we had 6 greenhouses standing, producing, but 5 of them were destroyed by the first rain, right? It wasn't the heart of God. It wasn't the devil. It was just because those greenhouses were not built well, right? I then trusted someone to do it. And I guess because I expanded the scope, he went beyond his capability. It was not well framed. But we lost 5 of them out of 6. I could have given up. Each of those greenhouses cost 10 million. So that's 50 million seemingly being destroyed, right? But because I know this principle, I did not allow myself to be deterred by that. Today we have them all back. We have first 2 back up. By the end of next week or so, we'll have another 5. We'll have 8 altogether working, right? But it didn't come because it was easy. It came because I could see the price. I didn't do it for the sake of doing it. I didn't do it because I had money. I didn't have any other thing to do it. I did it because I saw the price at the end of the journey. I did my calculations, and I determined it was worth doing. It was worth having. This temporary shortfall, this temporary disappointment, this temporary loss, it could be recovered if we do every other thing right. That's why I persevered. That's why I made a sacrifice. That's why I took money that was meant for something else to get this back on track. Because I looked down the tunnel, I looked down the road, I saw a joy. I saw a joy concerning the process. So because of the joy that I saw, I went through the pain of the cross, the pain of having to redo, the pain of having to rebuild, to get to the end, the promise that I see, right? And I don't know what you are going through right now, temporary setback, challenges, things are not going the way you planned it. Question, how much do you want it? How much do you want it? Do you really want it? Will you give it the joy? Is the joy worth the pain? Is the joy worth the pain? If the joy is not worth the pain, then go find something better to do. But if you determine that the joy is worth the pain, the joy is worth the sacrifice, the joy is worth the trouble, present difficulty. Like the Bible would say, Bible says that the weight of glory that is before us is much, much, much more than the seeming trouble, difficulties, challenges that we'll face today. Because of that, we see these challenges as light, because we're doing it for the reason of a glory that is in front of us. Because of that glory, we don't see this everyday challenges as big, because it is worth the glory. It is worth the price. Because of the price we endure. Because of the price we endure. We don't endure for the sake of enduring. We don't endure for no reason. We endure because of the price. We endure because of the glory. You must find the glory. You must have a reason. Because if you don't have a reason, you won't endure. If you don't have a reason, you won't have the passion. If you don't have a reason, you won't persevere. It's because of the joy that you persevere. It's because of the joy that you have the passion. It's because of the joy that you have the grit to go through the present challenges so you can have the prize tomorrow. Right? So we also talked about we looked at grit being defined differently by different people. And we looked at the fact that Lewis Terman talked about persistence in accomplishment, right? Persisting to accomplish, persisting to accomplish. And that's just like for me, I get to exercise here 3 times a week, right? When I do my full exercise, typically on Sundays, it could be about 3 hours. When I do the mid-range exercise, it could be about 2 hours. When I do the minimum, it's 1 hour, right? So it's more important that I do it than getting the 3 hours. I try to get the 3 hours when I can, more because sometimes, some days I'm not able to do it. But I don't do it because I feel like doing it. I do it because there's a prize. It's my health. It's my health. When I do it, it helps my BP to be controlled. It helps every other thing concerning me to be healthy, to be in the right place my body needs to be. I also like the way it feels to do it. I've said severally here that the reason I'm able to sit down straight, not bent all over and looking at Steve, is because of the exercise that I do. Right, because of the exercise that I do, I'm able to work on specific parts of my body that gives me the seeming outlook, the seeming physicality, the physiology, of being confident, of knowing what I'm talking about. Well, whether you know it or not, my physiology is affecting the way you are taking what I'm saying. If my physiology is not right, you'll be wondering if I understand what I'm saying. I won't be able to talk as confident as I am talking right now. And the confidence helps you to get what I'm saying. That's what they said about Jesus. They said he taught like no other teacher had taught before. It's a combination of what you know, how you feel about it, and how your body communicates it. Don't forget again, about 25, only to about 25% of communication is verbal. Most of what you are hearing is what you are seeing, not what you are hearing, or the emotions that are backing the words, right? And they change the word. They change the word. What you hear is backed and empowered and enabled by my physiology, and because of my physiology that affects my emotions. It affects the way you hear what I'm saying, whether it's going to make an impact for you or not. It's important, because then my physiology affects what I do. See, that's the reason why I put all my energy into exercise. My wife probably doesn't understand why I do such dedication. My wife, no, some people don't understand why I'm going to say 3 hours doing exercise, 2 hours doing exercise, 1 hour doing exercise. But guess what? I don't do it for the sake of doing it. I don't do it because I feel like doing it. I don't feel to do it because I have nothing else to do. I do it because I see the prize. I see the glory. Because of the glory, I see the exercise as light affliction. Because of the joy, I see the cross as nothing, because there's a joy that is working. There's a glory that is working. You have to find your own glory. You have to find your own joy, because when you find it, then the afflictions is nothing, the cross is nothing, the price is nothing, the sacrifice is nothing, because it's tied to something you are getting. How hungry are you for that which you want? Even God will not give you anything that you're not hungry for. The Bible says that you should not be slothful in business, but fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. God wants us to serve him with everything that we have. And unless your physiology is in the right place, you are not able to do that. God wants, you see, David danced. We'll talk about David dancing, and all his clothes fell off. He couldn't dance if his physiology wasn't right. He could give because he had. You need to have so you can give. Because giving is a doorway, the key way to life. If you don't have, you can't give. If you don't give, you can't have. Right? All right. Just all right. So that was the last bit we closed last week with, talking about the need to the importance of perseverance, endurance, doing the hard work, having the commitment to the task at hand. And it's because you can see the price, you can see the glory, you can see the joy, right? So here we stand with this week's on. This is the first slide for this week. And it says, nothing beats a really burning desire. Nothing beats a really burning desire, right? If you have a desire for something, and don't forget again, that desire comes from you being able to see the price. The price. If you don't see the price, you can't have a desire. You must see the price, and that price has to be worth it, because it's that makes the present affliction light. Is that makes the cross to be nothing, right? Because you see the joy, because you see the glory. But when you can see that, then you're able to do whatever it takes to get there. You see, Ukraine and Russia, they're fighting. What keeps Ukraine going is because they know what it's like to be under Russian oppression. They've been under Russian oppression for years, and they are saying never again. Never again we will be in this position. Never again we will be a second-class citizen in our own country. We're going to fight to the death. We're going to do everything we can to preserve our sovereignty, to preserve our being first class in our own country, right? So you see, that's what keeps them going. They're about 1/10 of Russia, but they're able to fight because there's a price. The price of freedom, the price of liberty. They're able to then dig in. They dig in because they see the price. They dig in. You see, a lot of us don't dig in because we don't see the price, right? It's like we are being forced to succeed, right? You are being forced to succeed because you don't see the price. When you see the price, you will dig in. You will dig in. You will dig in. You will dig into the resources, the inner resources that are inside of you to do well. You will surprise yourself, right? You will surprise yourself when you've caught the light, the fire of what you want. You will surprise yourself as to what you can do. The reason why you're not surprising yourself is because you have not seen the price. You have not seen the glory. You have not seen the joy. When you see the joy, when you see the glory, when you see the price, then you can dig in and give it your best to achieve that which you have set for yourself to achieve. Again, when you see those horses in a race, the distance between the first and the second is not much. It's normally just one tiny bit. And guess what makes a difference? It's a horse and the rider that wants it more. It's a horse and the rider that wants it more. They put in that extra, that extra, that extra that makes a difference, that makes them to be number one, not number two, number one, not number two, number one, not number two. Some people are satisfied with number two, so they don't put in the extra. If you don't put in the extra, you won't even get number two. You probably get number three, number four, number five. You're right. But if you want more, if you want life, if you want the price, then you have to give it the best that you have. Right? You have to give it the best that you have. You have to be focused about the things that you do. You have to decide the things that are important to you and the things that are not. You have to separate the urgent from the important. You don't allow the seeming urgent to distract you from the important things in your life. You right? You have to prioritize your life. You have to decide the things that are not for you, because you can't do everything, right? We all have 24 hours in a day. Nobody's gonna give you one extra minute past 24 hours, and your 24 hours is enough. The reason why it might look not enough is because you have a lot of things you should not be doing. You have a lot of things you need to take off your schedule because it's meant for someone else, not for you. Not if you have determined yourself, this is the glory that I'm shooting for. Not if you have determined for yourself, this is the joy I'm shooting for. You have to decide the things that will take you there, and see if you can delegate some of those other things to other people, or just put them out all the way. Otherwise, you won't get there, because no, God is not going to give you 1 minute more. Your 24 hours is enough. You just have to take responsibility for it and optimize it. Determine the things you should do, determine the things you should not do, and determine also in that 24 hours that you sleep well, you rest well, because that's also important. It's important that you take care of your health, because if you get the price and you are not in good health, what's the reason? What's the worth of doing it? Like I used to share with my mentees out here at work. I tell them we're all going to get there. But when we get there, we're going to be asking ourselves, what did we lose to get here? Right? What did we lose to get here? We're talking about sustainable development. We're not talking about that by the time you get the prize, you are dead and the prize is of no use to you. We're talking about being there to get the prize and enjoy the prize. The Bible says God gives us all things to richly enjoy. It doesn't just give us all things, it gives us all things to richly enjoy. God wants us to enjoy the things of life, right? It's not just to get it. It's not just to get it for some other people. It's that you enjoy it yourself. Yes, you're going to be a blessing to other people, but you are not a stepchild. God wants you also to enjoy it also. Even as you think of other people, God wants you also to be blessed, right? You can't be a blessing if you're not a blessing, right? What you are getting must be a blessing to you before you can be a blessing to someone else, right? Therefore, you have to keep staying health, sleep, eat well, even as you chase the price that you are chasing, right? So plan your time, determine the things that are for you, determine the things that are not for you, right? Determine the things that work for what you are shooting for, and the things that don't work for it. Some things are in season, right? In this season of life, there might just be some things you excuse yourself from, just for this season of life, just so you can achieve that which you are shooting for. When you have gotten it, then it might be another season and you can go into it, right? When you are in school, there are things that you should focus on your education. You don't get to do things that people that have graduated or not in school are doing, right? It might just be that you focus on your certificate and get the best out of it. When you get your certificate, you can do every other thing that you want to do, right? Because there are things that come in season, and once you miss that season, you miss the price, right? So you gotta focus for the things that are in season, and determine the things that can wait, determine the things that cannot wait, determine the things that will work and give you the price that you're shooting for, right? So nothing beats having a real burning desire on the inside of you, because that's gonna push you. That's what's gonna take you to the promised land, right? It's without doubt the single most important predictor for world class performance. If you want to be world class in what you're doing, if you're in school, you want to have a first class. If you whatever it is that you're doing, you're at work and you want to be the top performer, you must have a burning desire on the inside of you. Not a desire that is out of control, but one that is under control, right? If it's from someone that is not under control, then it shows that you're not matured. We're talking about being matured. Again, don't forget, we talk about the importance of extreme ownership, right? In whatsoever you do, you own your environment, you own your passion, you own your emotion, you also own the emotion of the people within your environment, the people you're having to work with, right? You manage and design the emotions that you want or works for your purpose, right? That means that you have to be intentional with the way you relate, with the people around you, right? You don't just do things anyhow, because everything you do is a seed, and that seed will get a fruit. The question is, will that harvest of your seed work for you or against you. If it will work against you, then you should not sow that seed. You should sow the seeds that will contribute to your success, that will add and push you and help you in the path you have set for yourself. So you manage not just your own emotions, but you manage the emotions of the people around you. That's what we'll call emotional intelligence, right? Um, Joko will call it, extreme ownership, right? Owning it, right? If you're going to have high performance in anything you do, there's no place for excuses. You own it. You own the results. You own the inputs. You own the results. You own the inputs. You own the inputs. You put them. You pay the sacrifice. You do whatever it takes to get the result. And when you get the result, you own the result. If it's good, great. It means that your inputs work. If it's bad, great also. It means that your inputs did not work. You need to change something, right? If it worked, it means that they're good, but then you can do better what you have done. But if they're not good, then it means that you need to rearrange things, right? It's not the end of the world. It just means that that particular combination does not work. So you tweak it, make it better, make it better, make it better. We're humans. We're not going to get it right the first day. We're not going to get it right the second day. But important things that we're learning, we're growing, we're learning, we're growing, we're learning, we're growing, we're learning, we're growing, we're developing. The Bible says that the path of the righteous is like the morning star. It shines brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter until the perfect day. It's shining brighter. It's getting better. It's shining brighter. It's getting better. It's shining brighter. It's getting better. It's shining brighter. It's getting better until the price, the reward will be gotten. Right. So we need to get that burning desire to push us in the direction, in the line that we have set for ourselves to go. Right. There's a word called self-efficacy. Right. It's a word gotten by the psychologist Herbert Bandura. The word self-efficacy is the belief that you can do the task that is before you, that task that's been given to you. It's a belief that you can do it, right? It's different from self-confidence. It's self-efficacy. It's a self-belief, a self-prompting, a self-belief that you can do that which is before you to be done, right? So if you're going to be a high performer, you have to be someone that's efficacious. You believe in yourself, right? And there are about four elements that come up to help you in having self-efficacy or self-efficacious or being having a belief you can handle the task that is been given to you to do. One of the things that builds self-efficacy is is uh it's your own experience. It's your own experience, right? I don't know if I listed let me see if I have the list there so I can. Oh, I have a list there on my second slide. All right, let me run through it. Yeah, it's called mastery experience, self-efficacy. Right, whatsoever it is that you're doing, you become better at it. You see, I'm 29 years on my job, right? So you see, 29 years worth of experience. I built mastery in doing the things I do at work, right? I'm I'm 40. This is 42 years as a Christian. Guess what? I built mastery as in the heart of being a Christian. This is more than 30 years of teaching. I built experience in the act of teaching. So my confidence in teaching, it's not just something that it's not a feeling. There are years backing it up. I believe I can teach because I've been doing it for more than 30 years. So my confidence in doing this that I do, right, comes from doing it. I've been doing since 2021. Guess what? You think I'm becoming a guru at doing it? It's got 4 years. I didn't start yesterday. I didn't start today. This is 4 years that you are seeing. You see, I built mastery in doing it. When I first started, I was a bit jittery. I thought I should shout. I should express emotion. But you see, everything has settled. This is a settlement of 4 years of doing it. I don't have to express any. I don't have to try to impress anybody, whether consciously or unconsciously. I can do this in a more relaxed form. Right? I don't have to shout. This is 4 years of doing it. I wasn't born this way. I built this by doing it 4 years. I've gained mastery in the act of doing it. right? So I have efficacy. I have confidence that I can do it because I've been doing it, right? And another way we build self-efficacy is by what we call vicarious experience, meaning that you're learning from the experience of other people. You know, you are saying that if someone else can do it, then I can do it. You know, for a long while, people could not run a 1 mile journey, I believe, in less than 10 seconds or something like that. In 10 seconds, for years, until one man did it. Once that one man did it, every other person could do it. People were just breaking it left, right, and center. But before that, nobody could because they didn't have a vision of the ability to do it. They didn't have the vision of the possibility of doing it. But when one man decided that I will break this barrier, I will do it, and he did it, the confidence of that man doing it, was bought and by other people. He became the role model for other people. Even young athletes in schools, high schools, were doing it. Why? Because they saw a role model. It's called the power of visualization. They could see someone else doing it. They saw someone else did it, and they said, if that person can do it, I can do it also. You see, they borrowed that experience from him. They didn't have the personal experience themselves, but because someone else can do it, they saw themselves in that person, right? We call it synthetic. They synthesize the experience. In me, having my own personal experience, is a reality of the experience. It's a real experience. But that's not the end of the world. If you don't have your own personal experience, you can borrow someone else's experience. You can borrow someone else's experience and see yourself in that person. When you see yourself in that person, and you think about it long enough, you can synthesize that experience to be your own. It's a synthetic experience, right? It's not an organic experience. You synthesize someone else's experience and it became your own. And it gave you the power, the ability to conquer that in your life, that ordeal in your life. A story is told about one George. He used to be bullied. Every time he's going in from school, some boys will meet him on the way and bully him, beat him. And this happened so much. Then one holiday, he just thought about it. He started reading a magazine about some superhero. He was reading magazine about a superhero, and he read so much during this break, he began to see himself in that superhero. He synthesized the experience of that superhero. He saw himself in that superhero. He spent a whole lot of days reading those magazines and seeing himself as that superhero. So much so when he came back, right, he was no more running from those bullies. They fought against him and he fought back. Yes, he stayed this time around and he fought back, right? He was wounded, he was hurt, but those boys never came back because he fought back, right? He didn't have that experience as something he had done in his past, but he saw someone else's experience and he was able to synthesize that experience. He was able to see himself in that person. Do you want to do a talk like I am doing right now? Is that something you've always looked at? You can, because I can do it, you can do it. I am no robot, I am no spirit. If I can do it, you can do it. What is it that you want to do that the limitation is because you don't have an experience in that area? Find someone who has that experience. Find that someone that has that experience. Read about that person. How did that person get to where the person got to? And begin to see yourself in that person. You can synthesize that person's experience because that person has done it. That person could do it. You too can do it. You see, the negative part of this is easy. When we see people that have failed, easily will borrow that experience. That is a natural thing. If someone has failed, we easily borrow that experience. Oh, I couldn't do it. Oh, me too, I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh. You see, but what we should be borrowing is people's success, not people's failure. Well, not people's failure. We should borrow people's success, not people's failure. Right? That does not come natural. Failure comes natural. So success is what we should borrow. You should read about people that are succeeding, people that have succeeded in the area that you want to go, the area that is important to you, and start thinking about their success. What did they do to get there? If they can do it, you too can do it. If they can do it, you too can do it. They are no robots. They didn't come from outer space. If they can do it, you too can do it. If Elon Musk can do what he did, you too can do it. If Bill Gates can do what he did, you too can do it. If Warren Buffett can do what he did, you too can do it. If Sam Walton can do what he did, you too can do it. All you have to do is read about them, find out what they did, find out how they differentiated themselves, and begin to do your own also. Begin to exercise yourself in the discipline they exercise themselves in. Begin to see yourself in them. And before you know it, that experience will be yours. That result will be yours. It's a law. It works all the time. You won't be the first to practice it. You won't be the last. You can synthesize other people's experience. You know, and I've had practical experience of this. You know, I talk a lot about the fact that I changed another relationship for 11 years, but I learned a lot from doing that. You know, part of that and other things in my life, you know, I used to worry a lot. I used to have fear dominate my life. And there was something that I feared so much, I thought so much about doing it, that sometimes today I thought it really happened, but it never happened. But it has stuck in my brain as if it happened. It's a reality, right? That is what you call synthesizing other people's experience or other experience. You can think about something so much that your brain sees it, that there's an actual occurrence in your life. That you will have the same power or weakness that someone that went through that experience has. If you think about something so much, your brain will not know the difference between whether it's reality or fiction. And a part of your brain that does this is called your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is an intelligent part of your mind. Your subconscious mind is the non-intelligent part of your mind, yet the most powerful. Is the workhouse of your life. Your conscious mind is the intelligent part of your mind, yet it's not the most powerful part of your mind. It's a gatekeeper to your unconscious part of your mind. If you can pass information to anything that your unconscious mind sees, it believes it. So when I thought about doing those things, I saw myself think. It got registered in my unconscious mind that it actually happened. And I got both the strength and the weakness of having done it, even though I didn't do it. It was a fiction that was imprinted on my subconscious mind as if it was an actual occurrence. And I had both the limitation and the strength of that occurrence stamped in my unconscious mind. Right? This was done unconsciously, but the same thing that was done unconsciously, we can do consciously. We can get the power, right? Or we can get the power of synthetic or synthesizing experience. Hey, Mike Akitayo, how are you? Been a long while. God bless you. Thanks for stopping by. You know, we can get, you can synthesize an experience that we've never really had, but we want. It's a fiction, but your mind sees it as reality, and it will give you the power and the ability and the strength and every quality of the real experience once you can imprint it on your subconscious mind. And you do that by thinking about it. You do that by studying about it. You do that by meditating on it, right? It's a power of visualization. You are seeing yourself in another person's experience, and your subconscious mind will see it as if it truly happened, and it will give you the power that you need from that experience. But let me move on. So that's the second way by which we build self-efficacy. The third way by which we build self-efficacy is verbal persuasion, just like I'm doing right now. What I'm doing to you right now is giving you efficacy. I'm giving you power, self-efficacy by my words. I'm encouraging you. I'm my words. I'm speaking words, but you are seeing pictures. I'm creating pictures for you. I'm imprinting in your subconscious mind, and thereby giving you efficacy in whatever area that you need it. Right? That's another way by which people get efficacy. They get strength, the ability to do things. And the last one is called physiological and effective states. And that you have to work on. I told you earlier on about getting my physiology right. Guess what? Like I say, I worked out this morning. I did about 2 hours workout this morning. And that's why I say I can sit straight. I'm not bending a little. I'm not bent all over as if I'm trying to run away from here. I am like someone that wants to be here. I'm like someone that owns this moment. I'm like someone that owns this seat. I'm like someone that owns the topic I'm discussing about. And it's not just because of what I know. It's because of the way my body is. I hold my body. I don't hold my body by just desiring. I hold my body by doing what it takes to hold my body. I worked out 2 hours, and it's not just today, but that workout, it gives me the ability to hold my body. I tell my body what to do. My body doesn't tell me what to do. It gives me the ability to do what I want to do. That's why you think that's why you like what I'm saying, the way I'm saying it. You're probably thinking to yourself like Jesus. Nobody taught, other teachers don't teach like this. He didn't fall from heaven. I wasn't born this way. I did the right things, and this is the result. I sowed the seed. This is the harvest. You too can do that for whatever it is that you want to do or you are into in your life. You need to find out what it takes to do what you want to do. And you sow the right seeds so you can get the right harvest. All right. So going back. So those are the 4 ways by which you build self-efficacy or self-ability to do the things that you want to do in your life. Right. And that helps you. You can be hungry all you want. You need ability. Right. You need ability. You can be hungry. If you can't eat, you can't satisfy that hunger. Right. You have to build efficacy. And these are 4 ways by which you build efficacy for whatever it is that you're set out to do or you want to do. What is your price? What is the glory? What is the joy? You need to find out what it takes. Then build ability to be able to help you overcome or achieve that thing that you're set out to do. Right? So, all right. All of those just breaks down all I've already said. But we're gonna quickly pick up number 2 there. The book, kind of focuses in this chapter on number 2. Using other people's experience to motivate you. When Rasmus Ankersen visited all these places where people have a high performance, he saw that as a common term there. All of them had a role model that they were looking forward to. They were trying to be like, right? They as it were, they had a born again experience when they caught that person in their element. They saw that person in their element and they wanted to be like that person. Right? They wanted to be like that person. They saw that person in their element and wanted to be that person. And that became them the light, the joy. They became the glory that they were moving their life towards. You need to find it could be, first of all, you have something, but like we said, part of building the ability is finding a role model. That thing which I want to achieve, who has achieved it before. There's nothing new under the sun. And we're not saying that you should be limited by that thing that you're looking for, but it's just something to start you up, right? Some people want to reinvent the wheel. Some people say, hey, I want to hear from God myself. I want to hear from God myself. I don't want to read anybody's book. Only God will talk to me. No, it's the devil speaking to you at that point in time, not God. God doesn't work that way. That's why babies don't drop from heaven. God makes babies to come through parents for a reason. He makes babies to come through children for a reason, right? And he, more than just that, he has a commandment to it. The first commandment with a promise. God did not even give us a promise when he said we should worship the Lord your God and have no other idol. He didn't give a promise. But when he gave this commandment, he gave a promise to it. Here's a first commandment with a promise. Honor your father and mother. Honor your role model. Honor those that have gone before you. Honor the picture that you see. Because when you honor it, you will live long. You don't have to be capped by what they have done, but they become your starting point. They have paid the price. They have had some experience that you don't have to repeat. You can learn from their experience and then go have your own experience, not an experience that's lower than them, but experience that's higher than them. Find someone that has done what you have done, right? And learn from that person. Let it be your starting point. Don't go make stupid mistakes that people have made already and learn their lessons from it. Make mistakes, but make mistakes that have not been made before. You don't have to repeat mistakes that have been made before. That's why you see rich people, successful people read books. They don't read books because they have nothing else to do. They read books to garner experiences that they don't have to repeat. When they learn from other people's experience, they become better than those experiences. They take it to the next level. They capture their experience and they take it to the next level. Right? You will not live long enough to learn everything that you need to make your life successful yourself. You need to borrow brains, borrow minds. That's how you optimize, you maximize your 24 hours. You only have 24 hours, but when I borrow someone's 24 hours, then I have more than 24 hours in a day. I am talking to you right now. I'm not the only one talking to you. Behind me are my mentors. Behind me are my role models. I'm not the only one you're listening to. As you're listening to me right now, you're listening to Napoleon Hill. You're listening to what's their name? You're listening to a lot of people that I learned from, that I grew from. I didn't get all of this from heaven. I am connected to heaven, no doubt. But heaven doesn't just speak everything to me directly. They don't repeat what they've already told someone else that I can learn from. There are things that heaven tells me directly, no doubt. When I share like this, there are things I hear directly from heaven. But if that's all I hear, I will have nothing to share with you. I have to also study from other people that I've heard from heaven. I don't take what they say, hook, line, and sinker. I have to judge everything that I read. Just like I expect you to judge everything that I'm saying right now. You have to be like the Berean Christians that went to check. You have to check. It has to agree with your spirit. It has to agree with your being. I put out a quote this morning about from Bruce Lee. It says, take what is useful, reject what is useless. Everything that I'm saying right now, take what your spirit is agreeing with. If your spirit is not agreeing with it, throw it away. Take what works for you. Takes what will empower your life, what will strengthen your life, will take you to the next level of your existence. Then have your own. It's not what you hear that will change your life. It's the way you hear it. It's not what you hear that changes your life. It's the way you hear it. That is what changes your life. If you hear even if you hear the best of message and you're not able to judge it, to assimilate and rightly align what you're hearing to your life, it can kill you. I remember as I started on my journey on personal development, I was listening to a lot of people, and as it was, I was anxious. I was in a hurry to apply them, so I was just doing them in immature ways. I didn't have the peace, the rest, the confidence, the swag that I have today. Obviously, my today has to be better than my yesterday. But you see, I had them in ways where there were holes in them. They still help me, but probably not as effective as they had to for me today. And in that wise, it was good. It was my learning days. It was my growing days. Just that when I look at my life today and I look at my life then, and I just say, oh, you mean that's what I did? And that's what you expected, right? My today must be better than my yesterday. But all I'm saying is that as you take this, meditate on them. Take the things that are useful for you, right? Don't just take the letter, take the spirit, take the understanding. The letter will kill you, is the understanding. How does this apply to my daily life? How can I put this to practice? If you have questions, feel free. I'm out everywhere on social media. We can engage, but get the understanding. Don't just take the letter. Get the understanding and see how you can apply and make your life better. The intent here is not to be just the intent here is to be a student, not just a follower. A student who knows what he or she has received and knows how to apply it to daily life to get the result. Because this result is what we're all about. This is about doing life together. That your life can be better. My life can be better. And jointly we can get the best that life has to offer. We can eat the good of the land wherever it is that we find ourselves because we're willing and we're obedient. Thanks for coming along with me. I'm eating our mark here. My beautiful sister from Houston, thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. Thanks for stopping by. Mike, thanks also for coming along. God bless you. I'll be back here again next week, same time, 2 p.m. West African time, and we'll continue from where we stopped here. We'll go on in chapter 8 and see how much more we can take next week. Till then, have a great week. Uh, have a great second half of the year, and may God prosper your journey. God bless you. Shalom. Bye-bye.